lesser curvature of the liver, which is called the lesser omentum. Once you go through that, you got to get underneath that, and you're probably going to get a show that lifted up. That's another cadaver. Ooh, that's a live one. Those are loops of intestine right there. That's a pig. Here we go. Here's one where it's cut away. So there's a greater omentum here. Cut it away. There you see the bowel underneath. Okay. Then the other type of mesentery is called mesentery proper. Okay, and I'm a terrible speller, and so proper is one of those words that really bothers me, because I think it should be proper. All right, so in this case, here they're reflecting back the loops of the small intestine, so they've labeled that the duodenum. Running between those loops of bowel, here's another sheet of mesentery. That's mesentery proper. Okay, those actually hold the loops in place. Okay. So now you got a decent idea what mesentery does.
So this is deep to that one, right?
Yeah, so the one I just showed you there, the mesentery proper, is deep to the greater omentum.
Okay.
The greater omentum is very superficial. Now, there's something else interesting about the abdomen, okay? The abdominal pelvic cavity, as it's called. The abdomen is not physically separate from the pelvis, okay? There's just where you got the ilium here and it tips forward. You can take an oblique plane through there, and what's below that plane is the pelvis, and what's above that plane is the abdomen, but they're in direct communication with each other. Plus, not all the organs that are in the abdominal pelvic cavity are in the peritoneal cavity. So for that, we got to explain that a little bit. You've got this membrane that we said lines the whole abdominal cavity, right? We said that's the parietal peritoneum. It's a bit of a lie. There are some organs that are in the cavity, but they're actually outside of the peritoneum. So if you imagine just hollowing me out here, you'd have kind of a hollow box. And I started throwing little bags of organs in there, okay? If I put a big garbage bag in there with all the different organs in it, the bag would be the parietal peritoneum, okay? Now it's possible that if before I put that big bag of organs in there, I threw a few tiny little bags in first, okay? Then those would still be in the abdomen, right? But they wouldn't be in the big garbage bag, which is the peritoneal cavity. Okay, the organs that I threw in first that are outside of the garbage bag are called extraperitoneal. So the parietal peritoneum defines what we call the peritoneal cavity, which takes up the vast majority of the abdomen. But there are some organs that are outside of the peritoneal sac, if you want to think of it that, the peritoneal cavity. And those organs are called extraperitoneal, meaning outside of the peritoneum. The most significant ones of those organs are the kidneys.